Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting tutorial. I'm Zudi. At the end of this tutorial, you're going to learn to build a landing page website for a content management company. So here is all of what we're going to be building using React.js. Now let me walk you through properly. First, we're going to start with the navigation bar. We have the nav logo here, which is also the name of the company. We have the navigation links right here. We have a button to contact us. And now the area section as well. This is a very stunning area section. It starts here and ends here. Okay, so for the area section, we have all our content at the center. We have this captivating text here, and we have a button to get started for free. And we have a picture that depicts what the website is about, content management and marketing. So here also we have the section showing that over 2,000 organizations use this platform. Now to the working process. This is a very stunning working process. If you hover all of this, you're going to see that it has a shadow when you hover on it. So for the working process, we have discovery and strategy, content creation, review, and optimization. And now to the service section. For the service section, we have 6 cards. Right? So it starts with content creation, social media management, SEO content optimization, content strategy development, copywriting, email marketing, and all of that. Now to the pricing plan. This is a very simple pricing plan. Okay, so we're going to learn to build all of this as well. Now to the comment section. So for the comment, after the comment, we have the footer. Okay, so for the comment section, this is a very stunning comment section. Okay, so if you click on this, you're going to get this. So if you click on any of the images here, you're going to get the user image and the comments about the company. So if you click on this as well, the comment is going to change in this comment box, and then the image is going to change as well. And then we have the footer. This is a very basic footer that we're going to learn to build as well. Alright, so let's get started. So let's start building our project. You're going to open your VS Code or any of your code editor, any code editor of your choice. And then you're going to navigate to the terminal. Click on new terminal. And then we're on the admin panel. So you're going to change directory to your desktop. I have a folder where I create all my YouTube projects. So I'm just going to change my directory to that folder so that I can create this app in it. Then I'm going to run this command. The name of the app we're trying to build is Content Management App. And then templates, React. Since we're building with React, click enter. Make sure you're connected to the internet for this to run. And then you're going to see all of this. So this is the next thing you need to do. You're going to change directory to the app you just built now that you're trying to build, Content Management App. And then you're going to run this command npm install to install all dependencies. So it's going to take a while to install depending on your internet connection. This is installing. After successful installation, you're going to navigate to File, click on Open Folder, and then you need to find the folder where you created your app. So I navigated to, I took my directory to desktop earlier, and I created the app in YouTube Projects. So I'm going to open this folder, and the name of what we're trying to build is Content Management App. Select the folder and open it in VS Code. So just close this. Now we have the SRC folder and all of that. Okay, so let's see if our React app is working. Navigate to terminal, click on new terminal, and then here you're going to run this command npm run dev. This is going to open your app in your local host. Okay, you're going to get a link that would open your app in localhost. Alright, so this is the link. Just click on follow link, and this is what we have now. Okay, so this is a button, this is the Vite logo, React logo. So everything is working. Let me test it again. I'll open my source folder app.gsx, and then let me just minimize this a little bit. So if I change this to subscribe to my channel, let's see. Alright, so this is what we have. Guys, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, this is a reminder for you not to subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up and also share it with your loved ones. Alright, so our app is working, and now we can now work on building this. Okay, since our React app is working, let's get to the main work. So the first thing you're going to do is clean up. Okay, that means you're going to remove the unnecessary code that you're not using that came with React. Okay, so the code here, now I have the GSX. I'm going to delete it as well, and then I'm going to use the shortcuts to create a React app. REFCE. This is the shortcuts. Okay, and to use this shortcuts, you need to have this extension, ES7 React Redux React Native extension. If you have this extension, you'll be able to use different shortcuts in React. Okay, so I'm going to close the extension tab, back to my Explorer tab, and then we'll continue with our cleanups. We're going to delete this app.css because we're not going to be making use of it for this for this project. And then our index.css as well. We're going to delete this. Now for our entire document, I'm going to set the margin to 0 and then the padding to 0 as well. We're going to come back to this, and now for our index.html, we need to change the title of the project to Prudential because that is what we're trying to build. And then we have it here. As you can see, this is just app showing this is what we're trying to build, and this is what we currently have. So I'm going to close this tab, index.html and index.css. Now for the assets, I'm going to delete react.svg as well because we're not going to be using it. Now in our source folder, we're going to create a folder, and then we're going to name the folder component. In the component folder, we're going to have every other folder, like the navigation folder, the hero folder. So I'm going to create the navbar folder. In the component as well, we're going to create the hero folder. We're going to create the services folder. We're going to have the pricing folder. We're going to have the features folder. We're going to have the testimonial folder. And finally, we're going to have our footer folder. And now we need to get all of the images that we're going to be using. Okay, so this is all of the images. I'm going to copy all of this, select all of this, and then move it into my assets folder. Alright, so this is the image that we're going to be using. Alright, so we have all our images in the assets and we have in our folder. Okay, the next step now is to create the GSX and CSS file for each of the components. So we're going to be creating features.gss, and then features.css. Okay, so we're going to do all of that for all of the folders in the component. So I'm going to pause this video right now so that I can do that to save time. So now that I'm done creating the GSX and CSS file for each of the components, we can now start working. So I'm going to start with the navigation bar. Let me close every other tabs that we're not going to be using. Okay, so now we're in our navbar. We'll use REFC, shortcuts, and then we're going to create a div tag with a class name of navbar. Now in our navigation bar, we have our logo. So we're going to have nav logo. We have the links. So we'll create another div tag with a class name of nav links. And also we have the button. So we'll have a div tag with a class name of nav button. So in the logo, the name of the company is going to represent the logo. So here we have it. And for the links, we'll create a list tag with 4 list items. So the first list is going to take home. The second is going to take about. The third is going to take services. And the last one is going to take projects. And then for the button, we'll create a button tag here, and it is going to show contact us. Okay, then we'll navigate to the app.jsx, and then we'll mount the navbar component right here. So navbar, and then we can now view this in our browser. So this is what we have. Our navigation bar is working. So we need to style it so that it's going to look exactly like this. So we're going to open our navbar.css. Before styling, we need to import our CSS file into our GSX file. So here we're going to import ./navbar.css. Okay, so we can now style. We're starting with this first div tag. Paste it here, Display will take flex. Justify contents. Space around. One or the items in the center, so align item center. Padding will take 1 rem. And the background color will take this color code. So we have the nav logo as well, and we have an H2 tag in the nav logo. So for the H2 tag, we're going to set the font size to 1.5 rem. And then we have the links. So for the links, display is going to be flex, and then we want a gap of 1 rem between each of the links. So for links, for each of the list items, the font size will take 18 pixels, and the font width will take 600. Now we have the button. So for button, the button tag itself, padding will take 1 rem for the height and 3 rem for the width. Border is going to be none. And then the font width for the text is going to take 600 with a border radius of 30 pixels on both sides. So this is what we have. Alright, so for the list, we need to make sure that the list style is none. We don't want any list style. So for every, we're going to go to the index.css for, and here we're going to set list style. We set it to none, and then we have it like this. Okay, so this is our navigation bar, and now we need to work on the hero section. So I'm going to close navbar.css and navbar.csx, and then we're done with navbar. Next is the hero section. RAFC. For our hero section, we have text at the top, and then we have an image here, and also we have this trusted section as well. So we need to create div tags for each of this. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to create a class name, a div tag with the class name of hero, and also I'm going to create another class name with another div tag with the class name of trusted. Okay, so this is where, for this trusted container is where all of the images is going to be, and the hero here is for the major hero section. So the images that we're going to be using is already here in our asset folder. So let's import all the necessary image that we're going to need. We need the hero image. So we're going to be getting that from our asset folder, hero image.jpg. Okay, so, and then we need these other sections right here. We need the images that we're going to be using in the trusted section. So I'm going to import. We're going to need the global icon, global from / asset folder / global logo.svg. Okay, so I'm going to copy this now and then paste it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're just going to be changing the text here. So for the first one, we need the oracle icon, and then for the second one, we need the PayPal icon. For the third one, we need the Stripe icon. For the first, we need segment icon, and for the last one, we need Ionic icon. Okay, so now to the hero container itself, we're going to have an h1 tag with a class name of hero header. So this is going to take the header section, and then it's going to take this text. So we're going to add a break tag here after convert. So after the header, we need to create a paragraph tag that will take this text. So we're going to have a button tag as well, and it's going to take get started. And then we're going to have an image, which is going to be the main image that we need. So here, oh, come on. So this is going to take the hero image that we imported earlier. Now for the trusted section is going to have all of the icons that will come directly under the hero image. First, we're going to have the header tag, and it's going to take this text. And now you need to create a div tag that would contain all of the images. So here we're going to have hero images, and then I'm going to create 6 image tags. So let me just separate each of them here. So we're going to replace this with a curly braces, delete was inside. And now I will start the first one. We need the global icon. The second one is going to take the oracle icon. The third is going to take segment icon. The fourth is going to take ionic icon. The fifth will take PayPal icon. And the last is going to take Stripe icon. So this is what we have at the hero section. Okay, so now we're going to mount our hero components in app.gsx, and we can now view it in our local host. So this is what we have now. We need to style it so that it's going to look like this. So we'll navigate back to our Explorers folder, import ./hero.css. Okay, so we'll start by styling the hero container itself. So for hero, display will be grid, and then depth will be 10 pixels. The height will take 120 VH, while the width will take 100%. We want all the items at the center, so place items with the center, and the background color is going to take this color quit. Now to the header section, or common. So for the header, the font size is going to take 50 pixels. We want it at the center, align item at the center. No, text align, since it's a text align, center, and then margin top of 20 pixels. We have the p tag as well in the hero. Font size will take 20 pixels. We want this text at the center as well, and with a margin top of 10 pixels. For the button, okay, so for button, padding is going to take 1 rem for the height and 2.5 rem for the width. The color is going to take this color code. And the background color, background is going to be white. Border, we're going to set that to none. And the border radius is going to take 30 pixels. Cursor will be set to pointer. And the font width will take 600. So for the hover effect, we're going to set the background to this color code. Okay, now we have an image as well in the hero section. So for hero, image tag, justify content to the center. We want the items in the center as well. Place the item again at the center. With a padding of 20 pixels. So this CSS is for the hero images. This images here, that is what this is for. Okay, so padding of 20 pixels, and then display will be flex with gap of 20 pixels. Now for this image tag, hero, the image tag itself. The width of the image will take 900 pixels. Margin top will take 40 pixels with an height of 550 and a border radius of 20. Now for the trusted components, that is what will precede this. So margin top will take 5 rem. We have an H2 tag in the trusted component. So in the trusted section, we want the text at the center and the font size should take 30. Now for these images here, hero images, each of the image, the width should take 160. So this is what we have now. This is our hero section. And the next thing we need to work on is the working process. I'm going to close the hero.css and hero.gsx. And then we can now go to the features section. Okay, if I open the features, REFC. So for this features section, I'll delete this. I'm going to create a div tag with a class name of features. So in the features, we need our header tag. And in the header tag, it's going to take our working process. And then we're going to have a p tag with a class name of description. So the description is going to take this text. So after the description, we're going to have the cards. Okay, so for these features, we have 3 different cards. Okay, so I'm going to create a div tag with a class name of cards container. So for the card container, in the card container, we're going to have 3 cards. So we're going to have cards in 3 places. So the first card is going to have this icon. Okay, so we're here to install React icon. Okay, so that is one of the library that we need to install so that we can access React icon. So here, create a new tab and search for React icon. We're going to be using the npm package. And then we're going to copy this installation code. Once you've copied it, paste it in your terminal, come back to your VS Code, and then create a new terminal and paste the code here. Make sure you're connected to the internet so that you can install it properly. So while the installation is going on, right here, if you notice, the font here is different from every other font that we have in this text. So the font for these services, the font for this working process is actually different from every other font. The pricing plan as well, the font is different. So we need to get this font from Google Fonts. So here, I'm meant to open a new one tab. So Google Fonts. So we'll search for the fonts. The font is Bonanova SC. All right. So this is the fonts. Get fonts. Get the embedded code. And then we're using the import rule. So we're just going to copy this. And in our index.css, that is our global CSS. So for fonts, we're coming back to that. We're going to paste these fonts here, the font URL, and then the CSS for the fonts. We're going to copy this and paste it here. So this is the font we're actually meant to copy, not this first one. Okay, copy this, Ctrl Z, paste it here. Okay, so this is the font that we're using. And now we can now use this class name in any tag that we want. So here, class name, font. So this H2 tag is going to be using the font that we just set here. So for our installation, for React icon, it has been installed. Okay, so we can now move on. Now for our card, we need the idea icon. Because we have installed React is going to, the library is going to suggest a list of icons that we can select from. So we're going to be using this icon, and I'll give you a class name of icon. And I'm going to close this. Let me just close this Explorer tab so that we can have more space. Now we're going to have an H3 card, an H3 tag. So this is going to take discovery and strategy. And then we're going to have a p tag that will take this text. So we're done with the first card. For the second card, we're going to use the document icon. So you're just going to type documents. React is going to suggest list of icons that would match documents so that you can select whichever one you want. So we're going to use this icon, and we're also giving it a class name of icon as well. And then we're going to have an h3 tag as well that is going to take contents, and then a p tag that will take this text. Alright, so we're done with the second card. Now to the third card, we're using this icon. I'm just going to take class name of icon, close this tag, and then our h3 tag is going to take review and optimization. We're going to have a p tag that would also take this text. Okay, so we're done with the feature section. We need to mount it in our app.gss. Okay, so if we view our browser now, this is what we should have. Okay, our working process, the icons, the headers, and other text. So we need to style it so that it's going to look exactly like this. So now we're going to open our features of CSS. But before that, we need to import our CSS file into our GSX file. Import.features.css. Okay. So we'll start with the features container itself. Text will be at the center. Padding will be 30 pixels, 20 pixels. We have an H2 tag, right? So for features H2, the font size will take 3 rem, and the margin bottom will take 20 pixels. All right. So we need to set this font width to 700 so that it will be bolder. So let's continue. For the description, so for features, description, the font size will take 1.1 rem. The text color will take this color code. And then margin bottom as well is going to take 40. Now to the cards container. Display is going to be flex. Justify content at the center with a gap of 30 pixels. Now for each card, we need to set the background color to white. Padding will take 20 pixels with border radius of 10 pixels on all sides. Text at the center with a width of 300 pixels. And transition, for the transform property, one transition on the transform property, and 3 seconds ease. Now the second card has a box shadow. Okay, so we're using the nth child to get the second card. So the box shadow will take this value. Also, if you hover on all of the cards have the box shadow property. So I'm just going to copy this here and paste it here. And then transform, translate on y-axis to -5 pixels. Okay, we have icons in the card container. So for cards, the icons, we're going to set the font size of each of the icons to 3.5 rem with a margin bottom of 15 pixels. And then we have an H3 card in our card. So the font size of this is going to take 1.5 rem, while margin bottom will take 10 pixels. And for the P tag, the color will take, this color code, and the font size will take 18 pixels. And now we have it here. So if you hover on it, you can see that each of the cards have box shadow, and it's looking all good and clean. Next thing we need to work on is the service section. The service section is a very simple one. We have the header, and we have cards as well. So we have 6 cards in this section, and we have icons here, and we have this expand icon as well, that when you hover on it, it turns black. So let's work on the service section. So I'm going to close these features, and then I'm going to open services. So RAFC. So for the service, cancel this, and then I'm going to create a div tag with a class name of services. We're going to have an heading tag, and we want to use that font that we created earlier in our index of CSS. Okay, so this is going to take our services. Now we need to create the service container as well. So for services container, we're going to map in this section. You know, for the features section here, we did not map. We created cards separately. Okay, so another method you can use is to map. So that means that you need to create an array of objects for each of these. The array of objects is going to contain all of this. Instead of having to create 3 tags separately, we're just going to create an array of objects like this. So this is what I'm talking about. So we've created an array that will contain all of this info. So in each of the objects, we have these key value pairs. We have the title, we have description, and we have icons. Okay, so for the features, what we did was that we created div tags for each of the cards. Okay, so in services, we're just going to map instead of creating div tag for each of them. So for the icons here as well, we need to import those icons. So here, I'm just going to paste it here. Now in our service container, we're going to map directly. So we're going to map the service that we created here. We want to map over this array of objects. So we're going to have services dot map method, and then we're going to pass service and the index number. Here we'll create an arrow function, and then we're going to have a div tag for service card. So here div, close the div tag, and the class name for this is going to be service cards. Now we'll pass the key, which we serve as our unique identifier. I want to identify each of the items, each of the service with, this is supposed to be service. Okay, so I want to identify each of the service with the index number. Okay, so I'm going to create a div tag here with a class name of service icon. We're starting with icon, and here we're going to pass service dot icon. Okay, so for the icon here, so after the icon we need the title. So we're going to create an h3 tag, with a class name of service title, and this is going to take service dot title. After the title, we're going to have the description, a p tag with a class name of service description, and it is going to take service dot description. Then we're going to have a button tag as well with a class name of expand button, and it's going to take this icon expand. So we're using this icon here. Now this is another method to display cards. Okay, the first method is by displaying each of them, just like the traditional way of displaying cards by creating each div tags. Another way is to map. Okay, so here we just mapped over the array of objects that we've created. Now we need to mount our service section in our app.jsx, and this is what we have now. Okay, we have the header, we have the icon, we have the header for each of the cards, content creation, social media management, and all of that. Okay, so we need to style it so that it's going to look exactly like this. Okay, I'm going to open the services, the CSS, close these features. We're not working on the features again. First, we need to import our CSS file, services.css, into our JSX file, right? And now we can now start. We'll start with services. We have an H2 tag in the services, H2 tag, my bad. Text align at center, margin top of 3 area. Then we can now start with our services container, copy it and paste it in your CSS file. The display here is going to take grid template colon, repeats with a gap of 1.5 rem, padding will take 4 rem. And then we have our service card. So for service cards, position will be set to relative, and the background color is going to take white. Padding will take 3.5 rem with a border radius of 10 pixels and box shadow of this color code, of this value. And then transition, transform 0.3 seconds is. Now we need to work on the over effect on the service card. So for over effect, transform, want to set the translate on y-axis to -5 pixels. So it will just move, it will tilt a little bit up when you hover on it. And then for the service icon, we'll give it a font size of 2 rem with a margin bottom of 1 rem. Okay, this is supposed to be margin bottom. After that, we have the title. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and paste this here. So for the title, our font size will be 2 rem. Font width will be bold, and the color will take this color code. Now we have the description as well. So for the description, our font size will be 1 rem, and this is going to be the color code with a margin of 0.5 rem and 0 here. Now we have the expand button. So for the expand button, position will be absolute, top will take 1 rem, the right will take 1 rem, and the background color will take this color code. While the text, the icon color will be white, border will be none, padding will take this value, cursor will be set to pointer, and the font size of the icon will be 2 rem. While there will be transition on the background color, 0.3 seconds. Okay, now we need to work on the over effect as well. So for expand over, background color will take this color code, and here we have it. Okay, so we need to work on the border radius here. So we're going to set border radius to 10 pixels, and now this is what we have. If you hover on it, this is the color you're going to see. and it's exactly like what we're trying to build. Okay, this is this, and this is this. Okay, we need to set the font size of our header. So because we're going to be using the same, because we use the same font size here, we're using the same size here. I'm also using the same size here in the comment. So I'm just going to set the size in index.css so that every other header or div tag can have access to it. So in our index.css, I'm going to have font size, and this is going to take font size of 3 rem. So in my services, here for the header, I'm going to have the font size property. So back here, you can see that there's changes in the font size. Okay. And the next thing we need to work on now is the pricing plan. This is a very simple and unique pricing plan. There's a box shadow for the second pricing, and if you hover on it, it tilts up a little bit. So we're going to be building this now. So I'm going to close the services, close the folder, and then we're going to open the pricing folder with the file REFCE. Click enter. So for the pricing plan, the plans, I'm going to create an array of objects like I did in services.gsx. So I've created it and I'm going to paste it here, but let's go over it. This is an array with the name pricing plans. Okay, so for each of the objects here, we have the name. This is for basic plan. We have the price, we have the duration, we have the description, and we have the features. The features itself contains another array. Okay, where we have features 1, second feature, third feature, fourth, fifth, sixth to seventh, and this is the second object right here. We have the name, the price as well, the duration, the description, and another features here. Okay, so what we're basically going to do is to map over the pricing plan array. But before we do that, we need to get the header and all of that. So I'll create a div tag with the class name of price container. So I'll create another h2 tag for the header with the class name of pricing title, and we want to use the font size that we created earlier. At the same time, the font. So what I did basically, this CSS and for this font as well, that is what we have here. This is for font size, this is for font. And now our h2 tag is going to have pricing plans. And then we're creating, next thing is to create the pricing subtitle p tag with the class name of pricing subtitle. And it is going to take this text. Okay. So after that, we're going to create a div tag for pricing cards. So in the pricing card container, we're going to map over our pricing plans here. So pricing plans dot map, open an arrow function, and then we're going to pass plan and the index number, create an arrow function, and now we're going to return our UI here. I'm going to create a div tag first off, close the div tag. But for this div tag, we need to give it a class name. So this is going to take a class name of pricing card. So this container is for each card. And I'm going to have a key which will serve as the unique identifier, and the key is going to take index because we want to uniquely identify each of the card by their index number. Now we're going to have an h3 tag for our header with the plan name. So for plan name, it's going to take plan.name because here in our array we have the name, right? We have the price, we have the duration, we have the description. Okay, so we've done for plan name. Now we need to do for the plan price, and then we're going to pass open curly braces plan.price. After the plan price, we're going to have the description, another p tag for plan description. Open your curly braces plan.description. After that, we need a list tag that is going to take all of these features. Okay, so create the list tag, and we're going to map over the features in the plan. So we want to map over all of these features here in the plan. Okay, so let me close this Explorer so that we can have all of this. Plan dot features dot map. What we want to have is the feature and index. So I'll just give it IDX. Okay, then we're going to pass the list item. So in the list item, we're going to have the feature, but we need the key to uniquely identify each of the feature. So we're passing the IDX in the key. After our list, we need the button, and I'll give it the class name of plan button. And here is going to have choose plan. All right, so this is all that we have here. We started by creating array of objects, and then we have the price container, pricing title, pricing subtitle, pricing cards. Then we mapped over the pricing plans, where we passed our pricing card name, plan, price, and the description. Then we mapped over the features array in the plan. So that is basically what we have here. Now we need to mount this in our app.gsx. So this is what we have now. We have the basic features, we have the standard features, and we have the premium features. We need to style it so that it's going to look like this. Okay, let's get to work. So open our pricing.css file. We need to import our CSS, pricing.css, into our JSX. And then we'll start styling. First off, we need to style the pricing container. So for pricing container, text at the center with a padding of 50 pixels. What next? We have the title. For the title, margin bottom is going to take 10 pixels. And then we have the subtitle. For pricing subtitle, font size will take 1.1 Arial. And the color will take this color code. While margin bottom will take 40 pixels. Now for pricing cards, display overflex, justify content at the center with a gap of 20 pixels. Now for individual card, padding will take 30 pixels for the height and 20 pixels for the width, while the border radius will take 8 pixels. The max width will take 300 pixels. The width will be 100%. And then transition is going to take transform 0.3 second is. Now for this card, the second card here has a box shadow, right? So here we're going to have pricing card nth child 2, that is for the second one. Background color will be white, and then the box shadow is going to take this value. Now we need to work on the over effect as well. So for pricing card over, transform, translates to -10 pixels. What next? We have the name, the plan name. So for plan name, font size will take 1.5 Arial. The text color will take this color code, while margin bottom will take 10 pixels. And then we have the price, right? So for the price, we're setting the font size to 3 area and the color as well. So this color code, margin will take 10 pixels and the font width will be bold. We want a bold. Alright, so there's something that we omitted. We omitted the duration here. The duration is supposed to come immediately after the plan price. So here we're going to have a span tag, span, plan dot duration. Okay, so for pricing, for plan price, the span tag in the plan price. So for plan price, span tag, which is for duration, we're going to have the font size as 0.5 rem and the color will take this color code. Now we have the plan description. So for description, the font size is going to be 18 pixels. The text color will take this color code, and then margin bottom as well will take 20 pixels. So after this, we have this features section. So we're going to have the plan features. Okay, so this is supposed to be here. This is supposed to have a class name of plan features. Okay, so correct that in yours. For plan features, list style will be none, padding will be 0, and then the margin will be 20 pixels 0. Now for the lists, the font size will take 18 pixels and the color will take this color code. While the margin as well will be 10 pixels. Then we have the plan button. For plan button, padding will take 10 pixels for the height and 20 pixels for the width. Font size of the text will be 1 rem. The text color will be white, while the background color will take this color code. Border will be none, and the border radius on both sides will take 30 pixels. Cursor will be pointer. So this is what we have. Alright, so the duration here, the font size is too small. So back to the span. Okay, this is supposed to be EM. Alright, so this is what we have, and it's looking all good, and it's exactly like what we're trying to build. Okay. Alright, so now that we're done with the pricing section, we need to work on the comment section and the footer. For this comment section, it's a very unique comment section, such that when you click on any of the images here, it's going to display the person's comment. So if I click on this guy's image, I'm going to have his comment here, his name, his designation. If I click on this other person, I'm going to have the same thing. If I click on this lady, we're going to have the same thing. Okay, let's get to it. So I'm going to close pricing, everything about pricing. Now to testimonial. That is also coming. So RAFC, shortcut. So for our testimonial, we need to create an array of objects that is going to store our testimonial data. I've created it already, so I'm just going to paste it here. So we have our ID, we have the name, we have the title, we have the actual comment, and we have the image. Okay. So this is the image as well. I've imported the image from our asset folder for all of these images that we're using in the testimonial. So for the UI, that is what we're going to work on now. So I'm going to create a div tag with a class name of testimonial container. So in our container, we need our heading tag with a class name of testimonial title. I want to use the font size that we created in our index.css. So for the font size and the font that we got from our Google Fonts. So for the heading, so we're going to take what our clients are saying. So saying, and then we need the subtitle, as well. So I'll create a P tag with the class name of testimonial subtitle. I need to take this text. I'll create another div tag with the class name of testimonial content. So this container is going to contain the content, which is going to be the comment box and also the avatar gallery. So for the comment box, this is our comment box, right? We have an image, we have the comment icon, and we have the comment itself, we have the name, and we have the title. And the avatar gallery has images such that when you click on any of the image, you're going to see the comments and other info in the comment box. So to get we need to create an image tag for our comment box, and then we need the P tag for the comments. No, we need the icon first. So we're using the double quote icon. Because we've installed React icon, it's going to suggest list of icons for us. So I'm using the second one, and I'm going to give it the class name of comment icon. And then we'll close this. And the icon has been imported here. Okay. So after the comment icon, we need the comment itself. So I'll create a P tag with the class name of text, comment text. So we would insert the values later. Then we need for comment author as well. And then we need for their title also, P tag, the class name of comments, title. Okay, we're going to insert all of the values later. Now, our comment box should contain the active comments only, whichever comment is active. When you click on this, if you click on this now, you're going to see the active comments in the comment box, from the image to the icon to the comment itself. You click on this, you're going to see the active comment. So for that to happen, we need to create a state variable and a setter function that will undo such. So here I'm going to create a state variable for active testimonial and a setter function to set active testimonial. And use states, we're going to use our testimonial data, and we're using the first value in our testimonial data. So let me close our Explorer tab so you can see the screen better. So this is it. I created a state variable, active testimonial, and a setter function to always update. Okay, this is supposed to be active, to update the active testimonial when the user clicks on the image and changes. Okay, and use state here. By default, we want the active testimonial to be the first one. So by default, it's going to be this comment that will be showing by default, because right here we're using testimonial data and the array is from 0. Okay. So now that we're done with that, we need to map over this array of objects that is here, so that we can now change from the avatar gallery. This side is the avatar gallery, these 3 images. When you click on any of this image, you're going to see the current comments, the active comments in the comment box. So in our avatar gallery, we're going to map over the testimonial data.map, and then we'll pass testimonial, create an arrow function, and then we're going to return image tag. Okay, since we're displaying the comments via image, so the key here is going to be testimonial.id, because that's what we want to use to uniquely identify each of the comments. Okay, after the key, we need the source folder as well. We need the source. So for the source, we're going to use the image, testimonial.image, and then the alt text as well. And I'll give it a class name so that we can style it as well. I'll give it a class name avatar. Now, for in the comments box, we only want to see the active comments. We want to see the active image. We want to see the active text, active author, and all of that. So we're just going to pass in the value. So this is going to take active testimonial dot image for the text. This is going to take active testimonial dot comments for the author, active testimonial dot name, and for the title as well, it's going to be active testimonial dot title. Okay. Now we need to create an arrow function that would undo the testimonial click, such that when user click on any of the image in the avatar gallery, it displays the active testimonial in the comment box. So here I'll create an arrow function to undo testimonial click, and we're using our testimonial. So I'll pass in testimonial as the parameter, create an arrow function. So we want to set our active testimonial to the current testimonial. So whenever this function is called, whenever the undo testimonial click function is called, it will always display the current testimonial. Okay, so for the on the image, we're going to use an on click function, and then we're going to call the undo testimonial click, and then we're going to pass the active testimonial. Okay, let me close this here, and this is it. Now we're going to mount our testimonial.gss. in our app.jsx so that we can see it on the screen. So now we need to style it, right? So back to our Explorer tab, open testimonial.css. But before styling, we need to import our CSS file into our GSX file. So let's start styling. We'll start with our testimonial container. So we want all the text at the center. So text align center with a padding of 50 pixels. Next is the testimonial title. For the testimonial title, margin bottom, we're going to set that to 10 pixels. And the color will take this color code. Then we have the subtitle as well. So for our subtitle, the font size will take 1.1 rem, and then the color will take this color code with a margin bottom of 40 pixels. Okay, then we have the testimonial content, which wraps around the comment and the avatar gallery. So for the content, display flex, justify content, space between, and we want all the items at the center, so align item center. Now we're going to style our comment box. So for our comment box, paste it here. The padding will take 80 pixels. Border radius will be 8 pixels. And the max width will be 700. We want the text to start from the left, so text align left. Position will be set to relative. And then we need to add background color to it as well. So the background color will take this color code. Okay, so this is for the comments box. Now I need to style the image. So I'll give it a class name of active avatar. Okay, so if we copy this and then we'll paste it in the CSS, the width will take 100 pixels. The height will take 100 pixels as well. Border radius will take 50%. Position will be set to absolute. And then the top will take minus 30 pixels. Left will take 25 rem. And then the border will take 3 pixel solid as with this color code, and then object fits will be cover. Now for the comment icon, the font size is going to take 28 pixels, and the comment text will style the comment text as well. So the comment text, the font size will take 22 pixels, the color will take this color code, the font style will be italic, and then margin top will take 20 pixels. Now for comment alter as well, the font weight will be set to bold, the color will have this color code, and the margin top for this will be 20 pixels with a font size of 18 pixels. Now we have what's left. We have the comment title. So our comment title will take a font size of 16 pixels, color of this color code, and the margin top of 10 pixels. What else? We have the avatar gallery. This is supposed to be avatar, typo error. So for our avatar gallery, display will be flex direction column with a gap of 10 pixels between each of the images, 10 pixels, and a max width of 200 pixels. Now for each of the image in the avatar gallery, the class name is avatar. So we'll set the width to 70 pixels. The height will take 70 pixels as well. And then border radius will take 50%. Cursor will be set to pointer. And then object fit will be cover as well. Then our transition is going to be transform 0.3 seconds is. So this is what we have now, right? So we have all of the images lined up like this, but what we're trying to, we have an image at the top, we have on the left side, and we have it here. But currently, this is what we have. So let us style it so that we can have all of the images like this. So in our avatar gallery, for avatar, the first image, mchild1, transform. So we'll use translate. The first one will take minus 190 pixels, minus 70 pixels. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and paste it twice. So this will be for the second one, and this will be for the third one. So for the second one, it's going to take minus 30 pixels, and this is going to take 20 pixels. The third one is going to take minus 140 pixels, and this is going to take 60 pixels. So this is what we currently have now, and it's looking up. So let's test if the logic that we had earlier to change the comments in our comment box is working. If I click on this image, I should see a different comment. If I click on this image, I should see a different image and a different comment and text as well. So our logic is working, the code is working. The next thing we need to work on now is our footer. So I'm going to close the testimonial.css and JSX, and then we're going to open our footer. So REFC. So for our footer, we're going to have the top and bottom. So I'll create a div tag for footer top, and then another div tag for footer bottom. So at the top section of the footer, we should have a footer container that's going to cover all of this. So this is going to be footer container. So in the footer container, we're going to have the top and bottom. Okay, so at the top, okay, so this is supposed to be in, okay. So at the footer top, we're going to have the footer title, which is going to be the name of the company, and then we're going to have the footer address, and the address is going to take this text. Then we're going to have, oh, it's supposed to be a p tag, not a div tag, so we're changing this to a p tag. We're going to change it here as well. And then we need our social icons as well, so I'll create a div tag for social icons. So in the social icon, we're going to have all of our icon. For Facebook icon, so it's supposed to be Facebook. So I'm going to be using this icon here. We're going to have the Facebook icon. Come on, this is a self-closing tag. Okay, then we'll have the Instagram icon as well, then the Twitter icon, Google icon, and then we're going to have the Twitter icon, and then the Google plus icon, and then the LinkedIn icon. Okay, so now for the footer bottom, we need to create the footer menu. In the footer menu, we're going to have 4 lists. So the first one is going to be home. The second one is going to be services. The third one is going to be testimonial. And the last one is going to take contacts. And then we're going to have the copyright after the footer menu. We're going to have copyrights. That will take this text. Okay, so this is our footer. Now let's mount it in our app.gsx. So currently this is the footer that we have. Let's style so that it's going to look like this. So I'll open my footer.css. First off, we need to import our CSS file into our GSX file. So here we import footer.css. Now we'll start with the footer container. So the background color will take this color code, and then the text color will be white. Text align at the center, and then the padding will take 40 pixels, 20 pixels. Now for the top section of the footer, margin top will be 20 pixels. Now for the footer title, okay, for footer title, the font size will take 24 pixels, and the color will take this color code. With a margin bottom of 10 pixels. Okay, now we have the footer address. For the footer address, the font size will take 16 pixels, the line height will take 1.5, and then margin bottom will be 20 pixels as well. Now for the social icons, okay, so this is supposed to have a link tag, right? This is supposed to have a link tag as well. This a link tag, this a link tag, and then you can put your social links in the link tag. So you're going to place the icons in the middle of the link tag. You're going to place your icon in between the link tag. Okay, so for this link now, I'm just going to put hash hash hash. You have to replace this with your link. Okay. Okay, alright, so you have to replace all of this with your link so that when the user clicks on this icon, it's going to get them to your link. So for social icons, okay, I need to copy the class name, right? So for social icons, for the links, margin will take, and the color will be white color. We'll take this color code, and then the font size will be 28 pixels. Now for footer bottom, border, we want to add the border top is going to take 1 pixel solid with this color code, and then the padding will be 20 pixels. What else do we have? We have the footer menu. So for our footer menu, the list style will set it to none, padding will be 0, margin will be 0, display will be flex, justify the content center with a gap of 30 pixels. Okay, now our copyright section, margin top will take 20 pixels, the font size will be 16 pixels, and the color will be this color code. So this is what we have now, and it's exactly like what we're trying to build. So we're done with this. Please guys, do not forget to subscribe, comment, and let me know what else you want me to work on. Thank you.